Oh boy, Ubisoft's at it again. Star Wars Outlaws edition. Because don't worry, there's multiple. Yeah, Ubisoft's new open world smuggler Star Wars game. Did ya think it would go without incident? Oh, and we're running the gauntlet of egregious monetization in the video games industry. Oh my god, we're running the gauntlet and we're running laps. So buckle up, it's about to get wacky. So not only is the standard edition the cheapest one, besides the Ubisoft Plus BS, the standard edition, the cheapest one, is $70.
Actually, it's $69.99.
But you want to know the next edition's price? $110. Yeah, not even 80 and 90. No, they go straight to triple digits. $109.99. And then you have an Ultimate Edition for $129.99. Yeah, because if anything's been shown over the last couple of years, it's that the industry on the whole absolutely loves overpriced games, right? I mean, you do this in the year of Helldivers 2, like what are we talking about? Like, it's wild to me how Helldivers 2, the multiplayer game, has a more generous pro-consumer business model than the single-player game that is like hard relying on the Star Wars IP to gain any notoriety. I mean, like, the concept for Star Wars Outlaws is pretty decent. Like, playing as a smuggler in an open-world Star Wars game and going on various missions, like, that could be really cool. But even from the trailer, they showed, like, all the characters look so weirdly stiff. Like, it was Uncanny Valley, the game, to me, at least. It was really bizarre and weird. But even then, for a single-player game, did you think you would get all the content for the game with the base version? Au contraire, mon ami. No, because one, there's a 3-day early access for, again, what I can only assume to be a single-player game. I haven't seen anything in regards to multiplayer for this thing. Like, it just looks like a single-player open-world RPG. But there's 3 days early access for some reason in the Gold Edition, the $110 version. And in the Season Pass, by the way, there's an exclusive Jabba's Gambit mission at launch. So not only does it come with DLC that releases later down the line, which is fine, but they had to slide a little something there in at launch, yeah? Take a piece of content that would have fit fine in the standard edition, oh, but we can't have that, rip that jabroni out, and shove it in a higher edition to create false value. There you go. Just as Kate, MC, is putting together a crew for the Canto Bite heist, she receives a job from Jabba the Hutt himself. Turns out that ND5, side character, owes Jabba a debt from years ago, and he has come to collect. Yeah, notice how they have the mission with Jabba the Hutt, a fan-favorite character, be the one that's ripped out of the game to be sold back to you in a higher edition. Yeah, note the levels of scumminess here. That's not even to get into all the cosmetic crap that they ripped out to be sold back to you piecemeal in these golden Ultimate Editions. Dude, greed is one hell of a thing, because Star Wars games should be the easiest thing to pull off, because they used to be so good, but then, oh, the tendrils of these corporations and the greed burrowed themselves in deeper and deeper. Like, how long has it been since we got a genuinely good Star Wars game with no strings attached? God, it's been a while, hasn't it? They could even handle a freaking remaster with Battlefront. You see what else they're doing, right? Like, they're trying to nudge you in the direction of Ubisoft Plus Premium by giving you the Ultimate Edition there. Okay, I've also seen gameplay for this game now from the Ubisoft Forward, link in the description down below. It just looks boring. Like, it just does. The blaster fire looks really awkward, and the scenarios that they chose to show off to represent what Star Wars Outlaws gameplay is supposed to be just looked so weak. You get wanted by the Empire, so you fight like 5 TIE fighters in space before you go to hyperdrive. You steal something from a criminal syndicate, and they chase you with like 4 people for about half a mile until you reach a town to which they already forget you exist, apparently. Like, there's some dialogue options that apparently have some effect in the actual story going on, which is cool. And the game looks absolutely gorgeous, and the space battles, right? And the transition going from surface of a planet to space looks seamless and cool. They're definitely using the cloud layer you pass through as a glorified loading screen, but it works. And space battles could be cool, but there was nothing here that was particularly inspiring, in my opinion. Nothing here besides like the space battles that made me go, I want to play this game. It looked slow and clunky and just kind of bleh. Like the most bog standard stealth section of any game I've ever seen, with some of the least satisfying gunplay I've seen in a Star Wars game. And again, maybe the rest of the game is better, but this was the part they chose to show off, right? Like, this was the cream of the crop. that they wanted to use to advertise the game, and it didn't do anything for me. And I still don't know why this game is apparently always online with DRM. Like, what's going on here? Why? Like, this looks like a single-player game through and through. What is with this? Not every modern game needs to be always online with DRM. Are you trying to prevent modding? Are you trying to prevent mods that would allow people to mod in the paid cosmetics or even mission that's available separately? Is that the goal here? Is that why it's compromised? Like, what else am I supposed to think here? Like, it baffles me, right? It truly baffles me how laughable this industry can be at times. Like, we just had a couple year stretch where we went from Elden Ring, Baldur's Gate 3, and now we got Palworld and Helldivers 2. Games that have absolutely swept the industry because they were good games that didn't try to exsanguinate your money from your wallet, that didn't treat you as glorified cash cows to be milked on the near daily. But then you have these AAA games that release alongside or in the same calendar year that almost perfectly exemplify everything that these other games like Helldivers 2 stand against. How does a multiplayer game in the year 2024 have a more fair, balanced, and pro-consumer business model than a single-player RPG? Ubisoft is Ubisofting all over again. And it's a shame, because genuinely, this game has a really good premise. I don't know why Star Wars is like obsessed with having like this cutesy companion character in like nearly every piece of media now. I say nearly, I can only think of like 2 other examples, right? Well, no, the droids, you have like BD from Fallen Order, Baby Yoda from Mandalorian, R2-D2. Okay, maybe it's just like a Star Wars thing overall. I mean, I'm not mad at the thing, he looks kind of cute, but at the same time, right? There's nothing about this that felt like truly unique or interesting. Like, the premise is a decent one, and the game is pretty to look at. Like, playing as a smuggler in an open-world Star Wars game should be a really cool idea if expanded on and fleshed out enough. But it's just bogged down with all this modern gaming bullcrap. And like, even then, if you watch the trailers, which I'm probably showing in the background of this video, like, leave a comment down below if you spot this. Do all the characters like look really stiff or unnatural? Like, I'm getting uncanny valley from these characters, and I never get that. I'm a big advocate that if you want goodwill, show me and give me a reason to give you goodwill, which is why someone like Elden Ring and FromSoft can put out $40 DLC, and I'll lean on the idea that, oh, it's gonna be worth $40 because it's FromSoft and they have developed that reputation of not screwing the consumer over and giving you plenty of value for your buck. But Ubisoft, well, they've earned the opposite reputation. The inverse, if you will. This game is $70 base price, because that's not even the full game. And you want to know the funny thing about how you can tell it's not the full game? They can't even call it the full game. They have to call it the base game, because they know that they ripped content out to be sold back to you in these higher editions. This is a perfect example of why I will never buy the BS argument that because of inflation, video games have to be $70. Because that operates on the assumption that that's the only mechanism they have to make money anymore. And a game like Star Wars Outlaws has found plenty of ways to up the price of gaming. It's greed, nothing more and nothing less. Pure simple greed, because they believe enough people will buy this crap. And it's a shame that you can't even buy a game at $70 in the year 2024 and be guaranteed to get the full game. It's a sad indignation of the industry at large, and it's why it is my belief that is partially why games like Helldivers 2 do so well, because they're a diamond in the rough, because this game, regardless, absolutely regardless of the actual quality of the game, this crap and other games that do similar stuff is the perfect manifestation of the rot that has infested the video games industry. This egregious monetization that makes a laughingstock of the game before it even comes out, that tries to piggyback off an IP, which is just a shame, because this game had so much potential. And even if it comes out and is really good, it will always be bogged down and blighted because of this crap. It's a shame. It really is. But this is why I'm glad that games like Elden Ring, Baldur's Gate, and Helldivers 2 do so well, because they show and are an example that this crap does not have to be the norm. This isn't the harsh reality of the video games industry. This is another attempt at greed that is wholly, wildly unnecessary. And like, the premise is good, but like, even the story trailer just looked bleh. Like, maybe the character gets more development in the game, but she just looked like less charismatic Han Solo, goes goes around with a mudkip from Pokemon to do a bunch of stealth missions in space. Like, maybe the game is better than that, but that's the vibe I got out of that trailer. Ripping out content day one to be sold back to you at a premium. Borderline laughable. Because, like, even if the game is good, that doesn't excuse that, in my opinion. That doesn't justify it either. The worst defense that some people give to defend business practices like this is that other companies and other games have done it before. I still fail to see how that makes anything better. It's just a bigger condemnation of the industry at large, and AAA, and now quadruple A gaming. And with that, I'll call the stream wrong outro. And with that, I'll call the video there for the day. Thank you all for tuning in. My pleasure for making the video. If you enjoyed it, please leave a like and subscribe. It really helps the channel out and helps support future content, and I greatly appreciate it. Leave a comment down below with if you're interested in Star Wars Outlaws, why you are, why you're not. Are you more or less interested after all of this? Let me know. I'd love to hear your thoughts and hear your opinions and to hear your perspectives. Stay safe, have a great day. I'll see you all next time. Bye-bye, everybody, till we meet again.